Recording in progress.
Hi, everyone.
You know, Mike.
Hello.
Hi.
All right, we are live.
Okay, here we go. I'm opening the EMUA Municipal Utilities Authority agenda and the meeting tonight for April 3rd, 2024. Doctor, can you read the opening statement, please?
Yes, opening statement board meeting. Both adequate and electronic notice of this meeting pursuant to both the Open Public Meetings Act and the Emergency Remote Meeting Protocol advised in Local Finance Notice 2020-21 has been given by the Director of Finance, Deputy Executive Director of the Evesham Municipal Utilities Authority on February 8th, 2024, in the following manner. Emailing written notice to the Burlington County Times and Courier Post, posting written notice on the official Evesham EMUA website, filing written notice with the clerks of Evesham and Medford. Written notice was posted at the authority's business address located at 100 Sharp Road, Marlton, New Jersey, 08053 on February 8th, 2024. The statement shall be entered into the minutes of this meeting.
Everybody stand for the pledge of flag. Repeat with me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Reading on the minutes, March 6th, 2024.
We start with roll call, please.
Okay, let's do the roll call.
Mr. Kipnis,
Present.
Mr. Dross,
Present.
Dr. Hunter,
Present.
Mr. Sweeney, not present. Mr. Schmidt,
Present.
Mr. Penza,
Present.
Mr. Waters, not present.
Okay, now we'll have a reading of the minutes, March 6th, 2024. Do I have a motion? So it's the minutes. Do I have a second?
Second.
Is there any questions or statements? So. Public comments?
Can I take a call?
Yes, you can.
Just on that. Sorry about that.
No, I apologize.
Dr. Hunter,
Aye.
oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Dross,
Aye.
Mr. Schmidt,
Aye.
Mr. Where are we? Mr. Penza.
Aye.
Sorry about that. Yeah.
Okay. Now, public comments. If you have any comments.
Hey, everyone, how you doing?
Hey, you are, where
My
you?
name's Jennifer Mendel. I live at 20 Total Avenue in Heritage Development. And I'm here to specifically talk about the phase 3 of the water main replacement in and around the neighborhood.
Welcome.
Thank you. So I talked to Jim a couple of times. He told me about the meeting, so I figured I'd come and just give you guys a little overview of what's going on in and around the neighborhood. The company that was hired to do this replacement, they do not communicate with the residents of what they're doing on the daily. We have found that the residents of Caldwell and their surrounding streets actually have to call the MUA and let you guys know what's going on from day to day. And that's just not appropriate. I'm sorry. There are no boots on the ground reviewing what they're doing. They were ripping out curbs. No one knew they were ripping out curbs. They were ripping out sidewalks. No one knew that either. On your website, you said residents were supposed to be apprised of anything that was going to be happening, how they were going to affect their individual properties. That has not happened at all. We don't get tags in the door when the water's going to be found. We don't have tags in the door when the water shuts. I called Jim and said, they're ripping out curbs. Did you know that? I said, they're ripping out sidewalks. Listen, I'm a smart woman. I'm not blind to what they're doing out there. And I understand that there are many things I don't understand about water main replacement.
Yeah.
But one of the things I do understand is communication with your residents, and that has not happened. The roads are atrocious. Jim, I saw you. You were out on Thursday riding around with another gentleman because they didn't paint anything that they ripped up on Tuesday. We had torrential rains on Wednesday, Thursday as well. So then suddenly they were back to work on Friday and they were paving like bad men to try to get all of these holes. And I'm talking about massive holes. If you still go down Caldwell Ave, the road is not good. So what I want to know is, what's done is done. Moving forward, I just would like better communication with the residents. I'm not the only one, just so you know, that feels this way. I told a lot of my neighbors that I would come here tonight and address this. I don't have a problem with that. Obviously, I'm here. But I know that we still have to get to a phase of fixing the curbs, mine included, fixing the sidewalks and the paving. And I believe PMA is gonna be responsible for that. Am I correct in that?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know if any of you have gone online and looked at the reviews of paving. It's not good. So we don't have a lot of faith that our road is really gonna be restored the way that it should be. Cause I believe in the first phases, that was a different company, right? I heard they were bankrupt. I
Yeah,
don't know if that's
no,
correct.
no, no, we had a few different contracts,
Okay,
so.
so it's not the same people, but it doesn't give us a lot of faith. I'm just letting you know. I didn't call this last time out the roads, Jim, a gentleman that lived on Boswell did.
You did, I talked to
But
him.
yeah, but I'm gonna tell you right now, when I walked out and they were getting ready to rip out the portion in front of my house to do my main line replacement. I said, hi, I said, good morning, I've been more than courteous to every worker that's been out there. And I haven't really even spoken to them, Jim and I, we spoke mostly with each other.
Yeah,
And I said, good morning, I said, are you gonna rip out my curb or are you gonna try to save my curb? Because I'm glad when they saved every single curb on that street, miraculous, right? And he looked at me and he's like, oh, we're gonna try our best. Then 5 minutes later, he tapped on my butt, you know what he said to me? He said, oh, you're the one. What does that mean? I said, I'm the one what? The one that brought it to someone's attention that you're ripping out curbs because you guys didn't have any idea from what I understand. And I said, okay. And he's like, well, we'll try our best. And then 5 minutes later, as I'm backing out of my driveway to go to work, he taps on my window and he goes, we're gonna try our best, but yours is really tricky. And I said, okay, I said, well, just please do the best that you can. And that was that. But I don't appreciate it. I don't appreciate being told like you're the one. When it's my property and I should have a right to know what's going on. And they don't communicate. So I just wanted to let you all know like what we're feeling, not just on Caldwell, but on Boswell, on Gladden, all the in-between streets in the space. It's not great.
Problem size this is happening.
Yeah, I don't know why we have to be, why am I the person, I already manage people in my day-to-day job, why am I managing what's happening on my street? I shouldn't have to do that. I'm telling you guys what's happening from day to day. The gentleman on Boswell did. I shouldn't have to do that.
Well, then find answers, Jeff, do you have that, or Wayne?
And I'm the executive director, Joe, I totally sympathize with you, and I appreciate you coming out here with yourself on behalf of the residents. We know what's going on, we're in constant communication, not only with you, but some of your neighbors have also, we've been speaking with, we've been in contact with the contractor multiple times, we've been in contact with our engineer firm, we're trying to get this right. No, they weren't supposed to rip out curbs, from what I understand. Their explanation was these were difficult areas they had to get to. Whether that's true or not, as you would say, who's the boots on the ground out there? That's for them to make that determination and get back to us. But totally sympathize with you, totally, apologetic to you. This isn't what I promised you folks when we met at Gibson House. Transparency is what we're about. Communication is what we're about. We have also been fighting this as well as you have. Obviously, you don't see what goes on behind the scenes after you make your initial contact with Jim or the authority, but we're climbing that flagpole also.
Okay.
And but I will promise you, things in the end will be restored to the same, if not
I
better.
just wanna make sure the paving and the curbs, and I don't mean to interrupt, I just, now that, what's done is done, right? We can't go and turn back time, and that's fine.
What's done and what has been done has not been right. And
Right.
believe me, I'm carrying that flag, and
Okay.
Jimmy's carrying that flag, the rest of our staff is also. Like I said, you don't know what we're doing behind the scenes. We don't broadcast that, but
Right,
we sympathize. And for the most of what you said, I'm in 100% agreement with you.
okay,
I've driven down them streets. We have employees here who live in that neighborhood who talk to me constantly on a daily basis about
right,
the rigmarole of what's going on out there. So
Yeah, it's just we have a lot of
I-
older residents too, like, and they don't understand, you have to understand, I have many people on our street that are. I know, well, you live in Heritage, I recognize you, that are in their late seventies and, you know, and eighties, and they don't know, and the woman that lived across the street from me. Jim, I'm sure you saw
I've
it,
had several
They-
conversations.
yeah, but she couldn't get out of her driveway that day. They never told her to move out of the driveway because her water main access was in her driveway.
Yeah,
So they left it with a cone and a big pile of stones that her car couldn't get over. And she's like, well, what if I had an emergency? What if someone had to get me? I can't get out of my driveway. And she's calling me over because again, I'm one of the younger ones on the street and I'm like, okay, well, you need to call the MUA with any of your concerns. I said, that's what you need to do so they're aware. It's things like that, that's dangerous, like that's,
I'll take them calls all day long and
Yeah.
I'll be that fight for you. You don't have to be the voice in the neighborhood. Get a hold of me, Jimmy. I'll be that voice. I have been that voice. I have no problem
Yeah.
having communication with the contractor. I've been out there, I've met him on multiple occasions. I left there and this man called him back and said, I want this, and this, that.
yeah, it just keeps happening though, that's why I don't understand, they're not receiving your message, because every time they do something, it just gets worse. It gets worse, it doesn't get better, I understand what you're doing and you can only control so much. Cause you're not out there doing the work, and I don't know anything about water main replacement, but I just know that I keep on hearing like. It's not gonna happen, we're out there, we're communicating with them, and then it happens again. And now we're at the point where we are gonna get to the point where we need to fix the curbs, and we are gonna need the paving, and like I said, we've all looked at the reviews about the paving, it's not great. So I just ask that we do keep someone, perhaps, you know, keeping on tabs on them, making sure that's getting done right, making sure that my curb looks appropriate. My house, Jim, you've seen my house. It's beautiful. You know where I live. I don't want my curb looking a mess. And I have a right to voice that.
I agree 100%.
So that's just what I'm asking.
No, if you're not happy, please communicate it. We're gonna make it right. I will promise you this, that after this is all said and done, no matter what contractor's out there, hopefully you won't hear a peep about your street for the next 50, 60 years. Especially when it comes to the infrastructure, meaning water, wastewater. That should all be good for the next 50 or 60 years. I hate to hear these kind of things. I hate to hear these kind of feedbacks. This certainly isn't what I promised when I meet the folks to have it, town hall. But it is something I'm dealing with here pretty much on a daily basis, and Chris can tell you that. Chris is my assistant. She's so I'm very well aware, and I communicate that to the.
And I think we still have other phases to go, obviously, the whole neighborhood. I think after this, there's other phases, I'm sure, right?
No, this is it.
Is this it? Okay. Well, they know we need to run in the neighborhood, like they know
Other
that.
parts of town that we move
Okay.
next into, and things that you've mentioned about this contract are right here.
Okay.
So if you can see what I'm saying without me having to say it, I'm well aware of it. We'll do our diligence on that back end.
I do appreciate the time.
We
You know,
appreciate
you all-
your feedback.
yeah,
We-
listening
We
to
need to
me.
hear it sometimes, our commissioners. need-
Jim and I talked, I knew I was gonna come here, yeah, I knew I was gonna come here tonight.
Talk to.
And it's just, unfortunate, a lot of the neighbors are upset, but I'm not on social media. They go and they voice and they vent on social media. I'm not on social media, so this is,
Me neither, so.
this is my form, it's not my thing. So, whatever you can do moving forward, I think myself and the residents would greatly appreciate.
Excuse me, Jeff. I'd really like to thank this resident for coming out. We need to have more residents coming to our meetings. Unfortunately, this is not a pat on the back kind of coming out. And I'm glad she did come out, and the fact that she's not on social media, I was gonna say, I saw it all over social media. And the only positive that came out was the responsiveness of Mr. Higgins. That was the only thing that was positive about the MUA. It was really pretty bad. So seeing it on social media.
And I wanna thank Jim too,
I
I mean,
posted
Jim,
on both.
not only that,
Websites,
but Jim
what
went
was
to me
it?
one morning, just so you
Please
know,
call.
it was like 8 o'clock in the morning before I went to work, and Jim actually came out and met with me, and I sent you a nice text, I do appreciate that. Listening to us and trying to get these guys in line, we've met, we've tried different avenues, but clearly, I just wanted to make sure that all the voices were heard tonight, and that's why I'm here.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
100%.
Thank you.
We're all here to serve the whole.
Well, thank you, I appreciate that,
We certainly don't want to steer you wrong. We're trying to do everything in the right direction.
Thanks for coming.
all right, well, thanks for the time, I appreciate Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Safe travels.
You as well. Thank you. Take care. All right.
That's that. Do you have any other public comments? If not, close them. Public comments. Okay, financial. Presentation of the fiscal year 2025 water and sewage budget.
Thank you. Okay, so tonight, I am going to discuss a proposed fiscal year 25 operating and capital budget. So the proposed operating budget is a result of several weeks of analysis of every budgetary line item, as well as receipt, review with the executive director, and upon his approval, implementation of supervisory requests. The steps in preparing the operating budget also involve a collaboration with the executive director in salary research and preparation of the salary administration plan, which is then presented and approved by the board personnel committee. An analysis is performed using the authority's financial model, which indicates that the proposed operating budget, as well as annual debt service, can be supported by our rate structure. The proposed operating budget and the financial model analysis is then presented to our board financial committee for their review and approval. What I am presenting tonight is the result of all these processes. The proposed operating budget increase is 4.7%. The proposed capital budget continues to be a progressive plan to address the authority's infrastructure and technological needs. Major water projects will need to be financed. However, smaller water projects can be funded through our capital reserves. Sewer capital projects can be funded through our capital reserves. We recently adopted an adjustment to our rates, which will be adequate for the proposed fiscal year 25 budget and also fiscal year 26. A rate adjustment will be necessary for fiscal year 27. So I'll start with the operating budget. The proposed water budget increase is 4.26%, while the proposed sewer budget increase is 5.07%, with an overall increase for both water and sewer of 4.7%. The budget process over the past 2 years was truly a challenge due to rising costs, which were beyond the authority's control, mainly in chemicals, bulk water purchase, and health insurance. However, with the proposed budget for fiscal year 25, these issues seem to be leveling off, except for bulk water purchases, which I will address in a few minutes. For one thing, we already made the difficult adjustments to the budget over the past 2 years, so those increased costs are now built in. Secondly, the skyrocketing cost increases we were experiencing the past 2 years, particularly last year, seem to be calming down. Costs are still high and there are still increases to those costs. However, the increases are not spiking with the new contracts this year. The overall increase of the proposed budget of 4.7% seems consistent with the current consumer price index for our area. So some notable line adjustments include salaries and fringe benefits. Beginning with salaries, the salary budget increases between 4 and 4.5% this year. That is consistent with the consumer price index for our area. For fringe benefits, the main driver for the increase to fringe benefits is the health insurance. This year, the state health benefits plan increased premiums at an average of 7.5%. This is significantly less than the premium hike in 2023 of 22%. The other fringe benefit lines had minimal adjustments. So risk management fees and also the blanket insurance, they go hand in hand. The risk manager can request up to 6% of the annual premium we pay to the JIP for our blanket insurance policy. The current provider only increases their fees every few years. However, it's been actually 4 years since they increased their fees. And our premiums with the JIF increased significantly this year. This budget anticipates an increase to fees with their new proposal next year. And then regarding the insurance, this is our blanket policy for property, auto, liability, and workers' comp. Rates increased by 17% this year, which is unprecedented from the JIF. Last year, the premiums increased by 10%, and that was unprecedented. The JIF sent a letter with the new premium assessment this year explaining the rate hike and acknowledging this higher than usual increase. The main drivers seem to be workers' compensation due to judges allowing more reopened cases, firefighters diagnosed with cancer, and then the COVID situation with employees getting exposed at work. Cyber liability insurance premiums continue to increase substantially each year as well. And the JIF has also experienced increased payouts through the property insurance for natural disasters. And the letter advised it's not just the JIF experiencing these issues, but the insurance industry as a whole. So this budget anticipates an increase of 20% in January 25. Before I advance to the next bullet point, I just want to mention the chemical budget. In 2023, we experienced exponential price increases with the chemical contracts. Some increases were as high as 92%. So we built in these increased costs along with an anticipated inflationary amount into this year's budget. This year, most of our chemical contractors agreed to a 1-year contract extension of either a 0% or a less than 1% price adjustment. With the few remaining contracts which went out to bid, 2 on the sewer side actually came in at a lower price. The only significant increase we experienced this year was with chlorine on the water side, and even that increase wasn't as high as last year's. Because the current budget already has the increased costs plus anticipated inflation built in, we only need to adjust the water budget modestly, and the sewer budget does not require any adjustment. That's good news this year. Repairs and maintenance. The primary reasons for the adjustment is a manager request to outsource generator maintenance, increased repairs and maintenance being performed at the wells and booster stations, a supervisor's request for root treatment to the sewer mains, and increased repairs and maintenance being performed at the treatment plants. Bulk water purchase. New Jersey American increases their various rate schedules regularly, and the authority is subject to several different rate schedules. This budget includes a 5% increase of our monthly bill. The Mount Laurel Willingboro agreement allows for the rates to be increased by a maximum of 6% each year. And I always build in a 6% increase for that agreement. However, Willingboro did not impose any rate increase this year. So the 6% remains built in for the current rates. These increases are based on what we are paying, not the entire budget amount. So the net increase to the bulk water line is about 2.48%. However, we have become very recently aware that New Jersey American Water is petitioning the BPU for a substantial increase to several of their rate schedules. One of the rate schedules they wish to increase is Schedule C, which is the largest portion of the authority's monthly invoice with New Jersey American. The schedule is for bulk water purchases for the commodity and demand charges. The increase New Jersey American is proposing equates to a 26.6% increase. Dollar-wise, this increases our invoices by almost $300,000 per year. If this increase does go through, I will have to request board approval for an amendment to the proposed budget. It doesn't make sense to substantially increase the budget at this time, as their request is in the beginning stages and may not be approved or could be approved at a less significant amount.
Yeah.
And also.
Yeah, so right now we're looking at roughly an overall 8% increase. And I've been in talks with the Mount Laurel, as we've done in the past, to join a coalition with their team. Last time, if you recall, New Jersey American was proposing 11.6% increase on us. The coalition got that down to just around 6%. So I just sent an email today to the director of Mount Laurel to once again join the coalition to go to the BEP, to the BPU to lobby to mitigate them charges to zero, or if not, something a lot lesser than 26%. So that'll be something we'll be asking you folks probably next month to sign off on joining that coalition. But as Laura said, they're looking at a 26 and change percent increase right now. We're hoping to knock that down to at least half. But as Laura said, the proposed budget didn't include that. We literally just got that letter a week ago, that their increase is looking at 26%, which is an overall 8% increase of the budget now. So as she indicated, we're looking to, if we have to come back at some point, some month down the line, to amend this budget to include bulk rate purchase in the future. Hopefully we don't have to, but it's looking that way.
And then finally, sludge removal. We dispose of our sludge at the county facilities using the county contract. That contract usually increases about 3.5% per year. And our current transportation contract for sludge disposal allows a 5% increase for those costs. So this budget anticipates those increased costs. So the overall increase for the total proposed water sewer budget is 4.71%, or $724,250. The total increase for the proposed operating budget, including the township appropriation, is 4.7%, or $763,250. Proposed operating budget total is $16,994,100. Last year's budget increase was a little over 6%, which equated to $924,000. So, are there any questions regarding the operating budget before I move on to the capital? Okay. So the authority has a 10-year capital improvement plan for both water and sewer.
Is Mike, can Mike Luke still hear us?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Yes.
I just can't see you, so. Thank you.
This is a carefully constructed plan utilizing the authority's fixed asset planning software, GIS, as well as consultation with our professional engineers. The document details which year the project is expected to commence, as well as the planned financing vehicle, whether it is bonding or use of the authority's capital reserves. The 10-year capital improvement plan is reviewed annually by our board's capital committee for approval prior to presentation to the entire board. So I'll start with the water improvements. For fiscal year 25, we propose a budget of $5,939,500. The 5-year plan, $37,737,500. And for the 10-year plan, $68,611,500. For sewer improvement, for fiscal year 25, $15,300,060. The 5-year plan totals $28,060,460. And the 10-year plan totals $38,120,114. Total 5-year capital improvement plan for both water and sewer, $65,797,960. The funding sources for the capital improvement plan for water and sewer. Bonding, $28,155,000, and that's actually for water only. There are no planned bonds for sewer. Out of the general fund, $28,956,960. And the renewal replacement fund, $8,686,000. The total 10-year capital improvement plan for water and sewer totals $106 million, $106,731,614. So some proposed water capital projects for fiscal year 25. These are bonding projects. South Side Water Tower, that's ongoing. The Cardinal Court, Sweet Gum, Cottonwood, Arrowhead water main replacement, that's in design. The Elmgate, Yale, Kings Grant Drive water main replacement, that's a carryover from fiscal year 24. Lincoln Drive water tank rehabilitation, that's a carryover from fiscal year 24. Wood Stream water main replacement, phase 1, it's new. And just to let you know, we have already secured financing through the 2019 revenue bonds for the Cardinal Court, Sweet Gum, Cottonwood, and Arrowhead water main replacements, and we anticipate utilizing the New Jersey I Bank for the other listed bonding projects. So moving on to the general fund projects. The Well 9 building upgrade, that's a carryover from fiscal year 24. Well 5 building upgrade, that's new. The Neptune 360 cloud-based fixed network system, that's ongoing. Arc flash analysis at the wells, that's new. Renewal and replacement projects. Well 9 redevelopment, that's a carryover from fiscal year 24. Well 5 redevelopment, that's new. 12 well electrical cabinet upgrade, that's new as well. Some proposed sewer capital projects for fiscal year 25. We do not have any proposed projects for bonding. In the general fund, upgrade to HMI systems at Elmwood and Woodstream, that's in design. The Elmwood plant disinfection, that's in design. The New Zealand Farm forest main relocation, that's a carryover from fiscal year 24. We replace influent grid and debris removal system at Woodstream, that's in design. The Woodstream wave tax system for nitrate removal, that's in design. Woods Group pump number 1 rebuild, that's new. Upgrade to fire alarm suppression system at Elmwood, that's new. The Elmwood entrance gate and fueling station security upgrades, that's new. Lift station rehabilitation, so the capital plan has 1 lift station rehabilitation per year. Sinelli is currently in design. Pine Grove is scheduled for fiscal year 25 to begin design on that. Some renewal and replacement projects for sewer. Replace the rotomat unit at the Elmwood plant, that's new. Post capital projects for water and sewer fiscal year 25 out of the general fund. Computer hardware replacement authority wide, that's new. Security upgrades, and we have 3 new projects. The cellular body worn gas detectors and safety alarms. And then upgrades of the security panels at both the Woodstream and the Kings Grant plants. And then a security alarm system replacement at all facilities, that's new. So this is a list of capital projects that are in progress or they're complete this year, or substantially complete. The project costs to date for substantially completed projects and the budget costs for those still in progress are shown, and they total over $6.6 million. Okay, so now I'm going to just show some pictures of proposed projects and also recently completed projects. And I'm beginning with the Well 9 building upgrade. So this is the building as it is currently. This well was originally budgeted for the current year's budget for both the building upgrade and well redevelopment. However, it has not yet commenced, so it's now planned for fiscal year 25. These are some interior shots of Well 9 as it is currently. The first shot is of the well piping and the Clenfoss tank, and then the picture to the right is the controls. This is the Well 7 building, which was recently completed. The picture to the left is what it looked like before. Picture to the right is how it looks today after the upgrade. And this is the model we will use for future well building upgrades, including well mining. These are some interior shots of the new building at Well 7. The first picture is of the well piping and controls, and the second is of the generator room. And then some more interior shots of the well 7 building. This is the chlorine room and the Clenphos room. And this is the Elmwood Plant UV disinfection project. This is the current effluent troughs and basin at the Elmwood plant, which will be retrofitted to a new disinfection method using ultraviolet light. This project is almost ready to go out to bid. This is the Woodstream plant headworks grit removal. The picture to the left is the current headworks system at Woodstream plant. This will be replaced by a new headworks program, which is currently in design. And the picture to the left shows a site where the new headworks program will be. And it's directly to the right of the existing unit, which will be demolished. You see my mouse? It's that in the blue right up there. That's where it will be. These are just some blueprints of proposed headworks layout. The Elmwood storage building. This is the engineer's rendering of the new storage building to be built at the Elmwood plant. The board just approved a contract award and construction is expected to begin this year. And this is just a picture of how it will look, and then the picture to the right shows where it will be placed at the plant. Reviews. This is the Lincoln Drive water tower. Our auxiliary engineer, T&M Associates, performed a tank inspection in 2020, and our subsequent report indicates there are numerous issues which need to be addressed. This work will involve temporary relocation of the cellular carriers equipment, which will require expert coordination. Planning for the design of this project continues into fiscal year 25. This is a lift station rehabilitation, and this is the Semelli Farms lift station. And the picture to the right is confined space entry. And this project is currently in design, and we anticipate beginning design for the Pine Grove lift station in fiscal year 25. This is the model for planned future lift station rehabilitations. This is the Locust Avenue lift station, which was reconstructed 3 years ago. SCADA HMI upgrades. This is the SCADA room and controls at the Elmwood plant. The specifications for the Elmwood and Woodstream upgrades are currently in progress, so we can go out to bid. The SCADA HMI upgrades at the Kings Grant plant were completed earlier this fiscal year. Woodstream nitrate removal. The product, which will be incorporated into the contact stabilization tanks at Woodstream plant system, is called WaveTex. The picture to the left shows the WaveTex modules in the aeration tank, and the picture to the right is a close-up of that media. There will be 3 anoxic WaveTex modules installed, 2 in the large train and 1 in the small train. There will be 11 aerated WaveTech modules installed, 6 in the large, 5 in the small. Each of the modules come pre-assembled and ready to install. The system is expected to address the future nitrate limits of 13 milligrams per liter, the daily maximum, which goes into effect October 1st. So are there any questions regarding the capital improvement budget? So regarding the authority's financial.
Excuse me, Laura, just down in the minutia here. I think if you're referring, when you say the Muslin Farm, you're referring to the property down Church Road from Cheyenne's Farm Market. It's actually Muslin.
Yes.
Muselin.
Museland.
No.
No, L again.
Is it
It's
Museland?
Muslin. Yes,
Yeah.
Sorry, Lou, you were right.
Okay. A picker of nits, I am.
Are there any other questions? Okay, so what is the authority's financial position for supporting our operations as well as the capital improvement plan? The water and sewer rates were adjusted this year. The water rates are showing a positive net position for the next 2 years. However, that excess becomes narrow in the second year. The water rates will need to be adjusted in fiscal year 27. The sewer rates continue to perform well and support sewer operations and capital improvements. The sewer rates will continue to require modest regular adjustments. The authority has a strong net position to support capital projects. The authority's net position to support capital projects has improved dramatically on the water side in the past few years. It was always strong on the sewer side, but due to the rate transfer from sewer to water in 2020, and then the most recent rate adjustment this year, our water net position is strong and can support some cash projects. And this was the goal of the rate adjustments. So we will utilize this net position to finance the smaller projects at the wells and the booster stations, saving and bonding costs. Our sewer net position has always been strong and comfortably supports our capital projects. However, modest regular rate increases will be necessary to maintain its financial strength. And we will continue to monitor all budgets and their impact on our rate structure. Each year, I include the authority's mission statement in the budget presentation. I believe that the authority's mission statement is a true working document and not just a statement on our website. All authority employees and board members strive to provide the safest and highest quality of drinking water and wastewater treatment through sound management, modern scientific practices, and effective planning. We maintain and invest in our infrastructure and continuously incorporate proven scientific and safe operating practices. We routinely update our technology and equipment to maintain those operating practices in a modern and sound manner. And as always, we strive to ensure that our proposed budget and capital improvement plan meet the goals expressed in our mission statement. The authority continues to support all of these operations with a fair, equitable rate structure with the use of financial forecasting and prudent gradual adjustments to those rates as needed. This progressive approach to rates, service, and capital improvements allows the authority to remain fiscally sound while providing high quality of customer service as detailed in our mission statement. So this concludes the budget presentation. Are there any questions?
Nice job, Laura. Yeah, really, very nice. And also Lou and Mike, thank you for jumping in there also and helping out Laura with this. It is appreciated and noted.
And we
Yeah, I'd like to chime in, Mike, if you don't mind, to thank Laura and Jeff and everybody that contributes to the budget. We did discuss, and Laura did a great job in presenting it. When you look at wages, salary, and fringes, and then you throw in the complexity of the bulk water, it's really, really tough to have a flat budget. It's really, really hard. There's not much other stuff that we can work with to achieve the mission statement. And we clearly are with the capital program and with an aging infrastructure. And I just want to, give a shout out to those that Laura's the lead, and with Jeff and his team providing the input to it. It's really well done, and I support it 100%.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lou.
Yeah, I would just add, I really don't have much to add to Lou's comments other than, when you look at the rate of inflation over the last few years, and then you look at this budget and what Laura and Jeff and Jim and our supervisors have done, I mean, it's basically, although it's not flat because we have some of these fixed increases, it's pretty close. If you take out the salary impact and the insurance and so forth, I think you're looking at roughly 1%, and that that's an approximation, but very, very close to where we were last year on some of these costs. And I tip my hat to Laura and our team and our supervisors and Jeff and Jim, because this is obviously a very significant operation that we run here, and to do this and to be as precise as we are on our expenditures, I think is well done. And Laura, thank you for taking the time to go through the capital budget, the capital improvement budget. I think it's very helpful for us as commissioners to see, where we are. I know Wayne does his updates every month for us, but it's helpful for me, and I think I speak for the rest of the board to see it again like this. So thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Lou.
Thank you.
Add something? Everything that Mike said and Lou said, plus the dozens of projects that you're all working. Some of those are done, to keep overall costs down. That 1% would be much larger that Mike talked about if we didn't maintain everything. A lot of diligence. So thanks to everyone involved in those. That ratepayers would suffer much bigger increases, as I've seen in utilities around the country.
Thank you, Byron.
Thank you.
Proactive, not reactive.
Right.
Very good. All right, with that. Right, resolution 2024-44, approval of fiscal year 2025 water and sewer budget. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? Roll call, please.
Mr. Kipnis,
Aye.
Mr. Druss,
Aye.
Dr. Hunter,
Aye.
Mr. Schmidt,
Hi.
Mr. Penza.
Aye.
Thank you.
Resolution 2024-45, payment of bills. Is there a motion? Hold
One
on.
second. Laura had an incident over the weekend. She's not feeling her best, so, if you give her a moment to get her things and she can take off, if you don't mind.
I'll leave quietly.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So much, so much went into that. I can
Yeah.
imagine.
Under the commissioner's comments, we'll start early. Thank you very much.
Yes. Great job.
Thank
She's
you.
not feeling her best, but she came in here as a trooper. So
And be
Thank
careful
you.
going home.
Yes.
And I do have to give credit to everybody, the staff, the supervisors. It's definitely a team effort. So thank you, everybody. And thank you to the board too for your continued support.
Thank you, Laura. Feel better.
Thank you.
Yeah, feel better.
Thank you, everybody. Good night.
Good night.
All right. Be careful. All right, resolution 2024-45, payment of bills. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Is there any comments?
Yeah, I have a question on page 22 and then on 24 and 25. We sent a vehicle in to Medford Ford on page 23. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it properly, Reman pumps. And then we bought pumps and on page 24 and 25. And again, I love the fact with this snow, I'm sure nobody's going to be appreciative of it. But the little blurbs that explain it, I don't know exactly what happened. If we did our own retrofit and bought the stuff and it didn't work, and now we've got to have Medford Ford do it. Can somebody explain that?
I'm not, for Medford Ford, it says here that the pulley was not good, so they got a remanufactured pump from Medford Ford for vehicle 26. RMP stands for remanufactured pump.
Oh, okay.
And the tool, they had a specialized tool to work on it and get it in, get it out.
Okay. All right. Thank you for the explanation.
Anything else, Lou?
That's it.
All right, thank you. Do I have a motion? Payment of bills.
So moved.
Second.
All right, second. And no other comments? And we have the roll call, please.
Mr. Kipnis,
Aye.
Mr. Druss,
Aye.
Dr. Hunter,
Aye.
Mr. Schmidt,
Hi.
Mr. Penza.
Aye. Resolution 2024-46, refunds, credits, and cancellations. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second,
All right. Any comments? So not? We'll have a roll call, please.
Mr. Kipnis,
Aye.
Mr. Dross,
aye.
Dr. Hunter,
Aye.
Mr. Schmidt,
Aye.
Mr. Penza.
Aye. Resolution 2024-47, authorizing award of a 2-year contract through OMNIA Partners National Cooperative Purchasing Program to Cronus Chenier Incorporated in the amount not to exceed $40,000 to purchase payroll, human resources, and scheduling services. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second,
Is there any comments?
Yeah, could I just get an explanation of, I understand somebody outsourcing payroll services, but can there be some more definition behind the HR services and scheduling services?
So for the HR part, a lot of our, communication with our employees, their updates on, insurance, some of the classes they take. Frank can now take it over.
Yeah, so with the Chronos system that we already have, it's an all-encompassing system. It doesn't just do payroll, it does leave time, which is an HR function. It's how people request the leave time, it tracks the leave time banks. Everything that has to do with the employees has onboarding. We worked this year with setting that up. It has, we can send out memos. For example, the best way to explain it is doing open enrollment. Open enrollment for our healthcare is handled through Chronos. The employees get digital messages and they fill out the paperwork. When we hire new employees, they go online they go on the Chronos and they fill out their I-9 forms and all the stuff that we need to onboard everybody that we bring in.
Thank you. And what's the scheduling portion?
The scheduling portion tracks time off. Like for example, if an employee needs a vacation day,
Okay,
they go online, they can do it through their phone, they go in and they request a vacation day, the supervisor evaluates it based on manpower standards. And it gets approved or denied based on work.
okay, thanks.
We also send important messages that the employees need to see, and that's a sign off, and it's a way to track that they're getting the message and it's stored for us.
That's great. Thank you.
Is this in addition to the Chronos? I know we had a new system a couple years ago or within the last couple of years. Is this adding functionality?
I believe so.
Okay.
I don't want to speak for Laura, but I believe so.
Okay.
It's not adding functionality, it's an ongoing process. It's the same Chronos, we're just
Add.
upgrading it up, going into another contract.
Okay. Okay, so you're continuing on.
Correct.
Okay.
All right, no other comments? Roll call, please.
Mr. Kipnis,
Aye.
Mr. Dross,
aye.
Dr. Hunter,
Aye.
Mr. Schmidt,
Aye.
Mr. Schmidt,
Aye.
Mr. Penza.
Aye. Resolution 2024-48, award of contract in excess of $6,600 to Color Tech Printing and Mailing in the amount of $10,195.92, not to exceed $11,000 for a 1-year contract for the printing, folding, inserting, and mailing of monthly water storage invoices and discontinuance notices. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second,
Is there any comments?
Is this also an extension?
So I went out for quotes for the 5 different vendors,
Okay.
only 2 responded,
Oh,
one of them being our current vendor.
okay.
Color Tech has been our current vendor for the past 4 years. They're very dependable. Anything that we ever have with them, they're pretty good with it. They
Okay.
did a really great job with taking over the new system that we now have. And I'm requesting for approval for a 1-year contract with a 2% increase in price.
Very good. No other comments? So roll call, please.
Mr. Kipnis,
Aye.
Mr. Dross,
aye.
Dr. Hunter,
Aye.
Mr. Schmidt,
Aye.
Mr. Penza.
Aye. Executive Director's Report.
All right, it's a short report, a happy report that we have had no violations. Since our last board meeting, there has been no wood main breaks. We did, however, have 7 discolored water reports. All them pretty much being in and around the Heritage Village Phase 3 water main replacement, which is somewhat expected. We're fortunate enough that we were able to flush them lines clear. We did have one incident where the contractor found and removed the feed pond in the new tie-in and the new water main. We had to go out there in the middle of the night, dig that up and remediate that, so the resident had water for the rest of her night and duration of her stay there. We did have 2 odor and water complaints. One was for the smell of an onion, which was not replicated when our folks were out there, and the other one was for high chlorine, and we believe the high chlorine was due to disinfection chlorinating the new mains that were installed at the Heritage Phase 3 water main project. What we have coming up this month, hydrant flushing is to commence Sunday midnight, April 14th, and go for 2 weeks through April 26th if needed. And we have nothing else going on. It's been a quiet month, thankfully, and hopefully it stays that way for a while. And hopefully the rain lets up. That's all that I have.
All right, thank you, Jeff. Any questions with that? Okay. Personal safety and security, Frank?
Hey, thank you. Thank you, everybody. I just want to touch on something. The first thing under safety I want to touch on is our lost time frequency report. And this coincides with Laura's report about the JIF and the rate increases. So everybody understands that those rate increases that we're hit with is JIF wide. It's not just the each EMUA. And actually, here's why. Our lost time frequency for 2023 was 0. Same as in 2022, it was 0. The last year we had any statistics for lost time was in 2021, and it was at 1.82. And most of that was driven by, we had one employee who had a fairly significant finger injury. He's fully recovered and he's back to work. Our overall rate from 2021 through 2023 is 0.62. As a comparison, the NJUA JIF, New Jersey Utility Authorities JIF, that's the JIF that we belong to. Their lost time frequency for 2023 was 1.41, 1.44 for 2022, and the overall rate for the 2021 through 2023 was 1.64. Last year, we did meet, and like we do every year, knock on wood, we met all the requirements for the JIF Safety Incentive Award. Our safety, we're pretty proactive. Our safety coordinator, Brendan, performed over 130 site inspections last year, in addition to keeping up with our safety manual and policies, coordinating and administering the various training programs, and maintaining our PPE inventory. We also participated in PIAS's on-site consultation program last year and successfully completed it. And we are in compliance with our JIF employment practices liability coverage. The next driver is cybersecurity. So starting this year, the JIFs are all spinning off their cyber coverage and are pushing their members into a separate JIF for cybersecurity. As a member of that JIF, you have to meet certain tiers of coverage, and if you meet the certain tiers of coverage, you get reimbursements or refunds on your deductible should you have a claim. We met the tier 1 for last year. It's being carried over, so we're grandfathered in until June. We are just about finished working on becoming compliant with their base level of compliance. We're waiting on right now is there's some, actually we're on the operational side, we're fine. It's on the financial side, we're waiting for some, we have to reach out to some of our vendors, make sure they are compliant with certain industry standards. Our general counsel's office is reviewing a piece of that as well. And we anticipate meeting that requirement without any difficulty. Okay. Again, the claims for cybersecurity are on the rise because of hostile actors targeting our industry. It's been pretty bad over the last year with foreign entities targeting water and sewer infrastructure. I attended a seminar last week, security working group meeting at the New Jersey Water Association, and they went into great detail about the risk posed by China and their ongoing cyber attacks against infrastructure in the United States. It was pretty informative. Last but not least, from a personnel standpoint, a couple things that we're really excited about that we've done in the last year and a half. So in 2022, the state of New Jersey changed its entry-level driver's training requirements for individuals who need a CDL. Now you have to take classroom time, and originally it was through private vendors, and that was cost prohibitive. It was anywhere from $2,000 to $10,000, depending on the type of CDL that you were getting. Government entities, people like us, we pushed back. We got our GIFs involved, and they were able to put together a train-the-trainer class, which we sent a number of our people to, and we registered with the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration as a registered trainer. And now we have the ability to provide our own people with our CDL training. And we've actually been a couple of other outside entities, a couple of other MUAs have reached out to us to do shared services for us to train their people. So that's something that we're working on right now. And we're really excited about that. From January of 2023 through this year to date, we've hired 9 new employees. Most of them are replacements for people who have retired. In addition, we promoted 3 new supervisors, one each in plants, as well as in the collection system. Our labor agreements are currently in place with both of our employee unions. Believe it or not, starting this time next year, we'll begin negotiations with our rank and file for a new agreement. And pretty sure with the new budget, we're going to be advertising to hire licensed operators. And hopefully a licensed electrician. It's a spot we've been unable to fill for quite a while now. That's it.
Thank you, Frank. Engineers report, Wayne, you're up.
Yes. Nothing new on the south side water tank. Route 70 water main, the contractor has given us a preliminary schedule, and it looks like late April they'll be starting to man up out there. Route 70 sewer main, nothing new on that. Elmwood Storage Building, we have received the executed contracts back from the contractor. We'll set up a pre-construction meeting this month rather. The well 6 building is finished. The well 6 re-drill Schulte's is still dealing with punch list items. We're pushing them to get those completed. Elmwood ultraviolet disinfection. I was hoping to have an answer on the generator tonight, but that's probably coming within the next 2 days or so. Hopefully by the end of the week, we'll have an answer on the generator loads. Heritage Village Phase 3. I am very disappointed that some resident was so upset with the conditions out there that felt they had to spend time voicing them tonight. I will be getting with our construction crew, our construction administrator, and our field representative tomorrow morning.
There's somebody out there already.
Yes, yes.
And this is still happening.
And I get assurances that same what she's saying, that okay, that was that happened, but it's not going to happen again. And to hear that things are happening again, I'm not pleased. And I will be addressing that tomorrow.
Jim, are you out there often?
I'm out there every day. And it's the same thing. It's just you get, okay, but then, I can't be there all day, and then
Correct.
you leave,
Yeah.
then it's a whole nother game.
Jeff, is there anywhere we could have one of our supervisors possibly round out and somebody?
Well, I'm gonna make it
Well,
I'm gonna go out there more
Yeah,
often.
and
They're
it's
getting
really on us. I mean, it's
It's really on Alino's
Yeah.
job, it's for
Right.
us to report back to.
That's right.
To Alino and Wayne
Yeah.
and for Wayne to run that for us.
Yeah.
Can I ask something? This construction company,
Mhm.
is it someone that we've used before?
Not
No.
the authority. We've used them up in South Brunswick, and they did okay up in South Brunswick. Even if they hadn't, they're low bidder. You
Yeah.
can't throw them out unless you have documented previous negative experience.
Which
So
is the point I'm
Yeah.
trying to bring up is that, maybe that factors into talking with them that an endemic issue could lead to,
certainly, yeah.
bad reputations for future projects. And that's a big motivator, not maybe for the supervisors on the ground,
Yeah.
but ownership in the company
Mhm.
doesn't want that. There's
Right.
more sustainability in their business model on an owner level.
Yeah.
Just to suggest,
Well,
you know,
to prevent them from bidding on your work in the future, you basically have to declare them in default. And they're not close to that. They need to tighten up their act, but they're still progressing with the contract. They're still doing the work that's required. And they're not going to get paid unless they restore those curbs and those sidewalks and the streets properly.
But in the
So
meantime, the public confidence.
I
is
know,
fine.
that's the issue
Interlocating
we
is
have
not
with this
permanent,
type of job.
so it's-
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's where we stand and we feel ill with, especially having a resident come in here. We get the phone calls all day long, they forward it to Wayne, Wayne has done his diligence, but as you say, when we leave the area, we can't be there 24/7.
no. Do we spec out some of the things she was talking about? Some things were reasonable, like when the water was gonna be shut off, or if your driveway was gonna be blocked, hanging
Yes.
tags, or.
All
Is that
of
a
that, yes,
requirement?
yes.
So that is, they are in default.
Yes, well, yes, but,
Those typically aren't enforced for some.
right, they're, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they're considered minor, even though it's major
Rated as high.
in this room, it's, in terms of a contract, they're still installing water main, they're still replacing services, they're progressing with the intent of the project. It's these customers, Evesham EMUA customer satisfaction issues that are the snag here, and
And yet
we've
those
got to be on top of
requirements-
it.
Those requirements.
And they've got gas lines already too. Have they hit gas lines?
Well, if they've they may have hit a gas line, but not because they were digging recklessly.
They've
You know,
been mismarked.
If they're mismarked,
All right.
when marks are, when utility markouts are called for, they're supposed to be within 1.5 feet of the center line of the existing
Yeah.
utility. So contractor has to dig gingerly 3 feet, from the center of that mark out. And if
Yeah.
it's beyond there and they hit it, then
So that
it's
can
not the contractor's.
All right, as long as we're gonna be on it now, that's.
But the rest of the issues are ones that are in their control.
Yes,
That
this is certainly in their control.
reduce
Notifications,
inconvenience.
yes. Better communication. If they see that they have to replace a curb stop in a driveway, use their brains. Tell the homeowner, hey, you might want to move your car out of the driveway. We're gonna have to be working here for a few hours.
So public confidence.
Yeah,
right, is the reason
right.
why those requirements are in
Mhm,
place.
yes.
We need that to support budgets, rate increases,
Mhm.
I mean, they're the face of the MUA doing the job. They may be
Yeah.
doing the job, but they're the face representing us.
Yeah, and the harder part to deal with is how some guy who's digging a trench talks to a homeowner. That's the hardest
Yeah.
part to, they shouldn't be, the homeowners hopefully would know our guy and talk to us. Because the guys on the crews, they're not always the ones who are gonna take into account, oh, we're the face of the authority.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And we are ready to go out to bid on Cardinal Court, Sweet Gum, and Cottonwood.
Okay, resolution 2024-49, authorize advertisement for Cardinal Court, Sweet Gum Court, and Cottonwood Drive water main replacement. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second,
I think I have to recuse myself, I think, because I live in
Okay,
that.
you just said it.
What's that?
You just.
Lou,
Oh, he just said it.
Lou,
Thanks, Lou. Any discussion? Since there's none, could you roll call, please, Chris?
Mr. Kipnis,
aye.
Mr. Dress,
I think I have to recuse myself.
Dr. Hunter,
Aye.
Mr. Schmidt,
Aye.
Mr. Tenza.
Aye.
Kelly, would he have to recuse himself just because he's a resident of that street?
No, you don't have to. If
Doesn't
you feel
matter.
comfortable with it, if you want to, sure, but you don't have to.
I don't know, whatever is, appropriate, but
No,
I
you're
vote.
fine to vote. There's nothing, it's
I'll
only
vote-
an advertise to
I'll
go
vote
out. Okay.
I didn't think he had to.
And then Sinelli Farm Lift Station, looking to get that out to bid in a couple months from now. Who asked you?
Okay, a motion to approve S3W3 for Marlton LE LLC, 301 Route 70 West, pad site, previous Friendly's Restaurant. Do you have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
And that this Friendly's restaurant site is being split into 4 units. 2 will be occupied by restaurants and 2 we don't know yet. The 2 restaurants are Cava, which is a fast casual Mediterranean restaurant, and then I want to say it's
First Watch.
First Watch, which is like Talking Point. It's breakfast and lunch.
Okay.
Like Turning Point?
Turning Point,
Yeah.
rather. Yeah, that's
Any other discussion? Okay. Chrissy, could you have the roll call, please?
Mr. Kipnis,
Aye.
Mr. Dross,
Aye.
Dr. Hunter,
Aye.
Mr. Schmidt.
Aye.
Mr. Jones.
Aye. Questions for the engineer? Since there's none? Okay, general counsel's report.
Nothing, thank
That
you.
sounds great. Kelly, welcome back. Since there's nobody to come, public comment, I will close it. And board comments, let's start off, Lou.
Yeah, thank you. Again, I know Laura's left, but she really, and whoever supports her really makes it easy to understand. She's very detailed, and again, thank yous to all of those that contribute to the budget and make it a working, living, breathing document. It's a pleasure to work with them. Again, I'll reiterate, Wayne, I'm not looking to beat you up, but you know, the contractor out there is us for all intents and purposes. And the people are going to bellyache, and they're going to go to Jeff, and they're going to go to Jim. And again, Jim, you were well respected online. They were very appreciative of whatever words you gave them. So, yeah, that does need to be fixed. So, and I recognize that they're doing the job and doing the work, and I'm not going to go there with mismarked drawings and all that. That's on us. But yeah, they've got to do better if what I've seen on the internet and what the resident was complaining about.
Thank you, Lou. Byron?
Yeah, thanks to, Laura and Jeff and staff, professionals for managing, dozens of projects. I mean, there's a lot of balls in the air. And it's critical to keeping, drinking water available and the sewer operating. I went to a couple of water conferences recently, the AEA and also the AWWA in New Jersey, and there was overwhelming number of PFAS sessions, lots to learn. So that's ongoing, and also studying some water pre-treatment for water treatment plants, and also math for wastewater treatment operators, just to get better insight. And let me tell you, there's a lot there. And then finally, congratulations to Chris and the new board.
Thank you.
Okay. Dr. Hunter?
Yes, all right. Well, first off, I hope everyone enjoyed their Easter holiday, and for those who celebrate Passover, happy Passover. First off, thank you, Laura, for, all the work she did and all the work her team did. And that includes Lou and Mike. And also just thank, the professionals, thank the staff, and of course, my fellow commissioners.
Oh, thank you. Mike?
I'll be brief. Everything that's been said so far by the commissioners, I'm in total agreement with. Thank you. And also to Frank, thank you for giving us those updates, and that really phenomenal results from the safety standpoint, and keep up the great work. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, again, I'll be repetitive. I want to thank Laura on her presentation, Jeff along with her. And also, I will say again, our finance committee, Lou and Mike, I want to thank you guys again for giving your time and effort to make this really good. I appreciate it. Always thank our professional staff, administrative staff, the supervision and operating group, what they do. Chrissy, you too, Chrissy and Chris.
Yes.
And congratulations, Chris, you also with the baby.
Thank you.
Grandma's very happy, I see. And with that, hope everybody has a good Passover. Happy Easter. Everything to stay healthy. And we'll see you all next. And we'll have a motion. Okay, wait, before the motion, is our next meeting will be Wednesday, May 1st, 2024, 7 a.m. That's
Yeah.
we'll correct that, Theo, the same bat channel, same bat place here. And with that, make a motion to adjourn. Well,
Stay dry.
It's all over.
ended. Thank you, everybody.
60% lower than the